Hey guys, this is Maliha from the site Blogger, and in this video I want to kind of give you a walkthrough of how to use the Kit, or previously known as ConvertKit, plugin for WordPress to restrict content for subscribers only. It is a really simple and wonderful way to get more newsletter subscribers using just your blog posts. So I will post the blog post that goes with this video in the description, but for now let's focus on the setup of this plugin. So the first thing you have to do is obviously install the plugin. So go to Plugins tab in your dashboard, in your WordPress dashboard, and then click Add Plugin, and then search for Kit in the search bar. Scroll until you see Kit specific plugins, and there are actually a couple of them, 3 of them. The one you want is this one that says Kit, formerly ConvertKit, email newsletter, email marketing, subscribers, and landing pages. I have already activated it, but if you have not, go ahead and install and activate. And once it is activated, go to the plugin settings. You can do that by going to your WordPress settings, hover over it until you see all of the different options, and then find Kit. So click on Kit, and these are the specific options available to you. Now, if you are setting it up for the first time, it will actually ask you to connect your Kit account to this plugin, and it will be done using API. And if you don't know where to find API in your ConvertKit, just go to your ConvertKit account, or I keep saying ConvertKit, but it's now called Kit. So anyway, Kit, or previously known as ConvertKit. Go to Kit account and then go to click your profile name and then click settings, and then you'll find the API keys under the developer area, the very last option in the left menu. Alright, so once you have your API keys, connect your ConvertKit account with WordPress, and then I already have it connected. And for me, I have all of the default settings. I haven't really changed anything in the first page. There are several tabs available, 4 tabs: General, Tools, Broadcast, and Member Content. Under the General tab, I haven't really done anything, but I just want to walk you through a little bit very quickly. Wherever it says default form, whether it's page, post, or wherever, I have them set as none, because I do fairly complicated email marketing. I have many different forms, many different landing pages, and all of that, so I prefer to add them manually depending on which content it is. And also, because I have used a page builder to design my website, instead of using Kit's native forms, I tend to use forms that I have designed with my page builder, and then I have connected the page builder with Kit. So this video is not for that, but just for myself, I don't want this plugin to automatically show any form anywhere. So I have made sure that the default settings are right for me, which are set to none wherever it says default form. So if you're anything like me, make sure that your default form is always set to none. And then again, all of them are actually default settings. Over here where it says site-wide, no value for default form, and under behavior it says if checked, do not display the site-wide forms above on pages posts that have their Kit form setting to none. So I have it checked. It doesn't really matter because it's not going to show anything anyway, and that's it. Under the second tab that says tool, again, I have no use for this, so I'm not even gonna bother doing anything over here. And then where it says broadcasts, again, you can use the Kit plugin to automatically publish your newsletters on your website, but it tends to create more problem than solution, so I haven't really checked any of these. So by default they're unchecked, so keep it that way. And then under member content, here I had to change a few things. The first thing, and a very important thing, it says permit search engine crawlers. This checkbox is actually unchecked by default, but you want to check it, because if you don't check it, then search engine crawlers like Google or Bing won't be able to see the content that is, hidden behind this this member content behavior. So basically, when you turn on the member content behavior, what happens is that no one can see the content of the post except for existing subscribers, or visitors are able to input their email and their subscribe, and then they can see everything. So by default, the content is not visible. So if you don't check it, it means that search engines won't be able to see it and they won't be able to index it. So it's bad for SEO, bad for ranking. So you do want to check it. Once it is checked, it means that search engines, even if human beings can't see it, the content, search engines will be able to. And that's what you want. So make sure that it is checked. And then the rest you can kind of read through, and it's just basically the language of how things appear. I haven't really changed anything. I have kept them in their default settings. But then once you scroll down all the way down, you'll see some CAPTCHA settings. Now these are by default, they don't have any value, but it is good to have CAPTCHA in your subscription form, in this case the member content form, because otherwise you may get some bot signups and you don't want that. So I have set up some CAPTCHA, and you'll find the link. I will post it in the description, but you'll also find this link in the blog post, accompanying blog post. Once you set that up, you will be able to copy those keys and paste them here. And the default value of the minimum score of the CAPTCHA is 0.5, which is fine. Once you like everything, make sure to save changes. I don't have to do it because I have already saved everything. And that's pretty much it. That's all you have to do as far as the setup is concerned. Now once you have set it up, how do you actually use it? So let's go to posts, and I'll show you how to do that. So this is the post that I'm working on right now, on this very topic, very meta. But anyway, so this is the post that I want to lock for visitors unless they're subscribers. So to do that, I will scroll down, and as you can see, I'm actually using the classic editor. Some of you may not be using the classic editor, and I'll show you what it looks like in the Gutenberg editor, but for me, I personally prefer the classic editor, so I have the classic editor. And then you scroll all the way down until you see Kit. These are the Kit specific settings inside a specific page or post. In this case, it's a post. And the first two, the form and edit tag, these you can leave at their default or none. That's fine, we're not gonna mess with that. Let's look at member content. The default is don't restrict content to members only, which is for, it's probably gonna be likely for most of your blog posts. I don't recommend, making all of your content invisible to visitors. I think some of your content should be public, but some of them, you can lock it behind the subscriber wall. It's not a paywall because no one's paying you anything, but a subscription form basically. And you can do that. You can make it visible by either a form or a product or a tag. What it means is that your existing subscribers, if you choose form, then your existing subscribers must have used that form to sign up. Or if it's a product, if you choose a product, then your existing subscribers must have bought something from you. Or if you're using tag, then your existing subscribers must have that specific tag. Now, I personally don't want too many bells and whistles. I just want all of my subscribers to be able to read the content, but if they're not subscribers, that's when it will kind of force them to subscribe if they want to read the blog post. And to do that, what I have done is that in my Kit account, so let me take you back to Kit account, all of my subscribers, as soon as they subscribe, they are tagged with the site blogger main tag. The tag is called the site blogger main. Now your tag may be something else, that's fine, but make sure that all of your subscribers, regardless of how they subscribed, which form they subscribed with, or whatever, they're all tagged with the same tag. That just makes life a lot easier. And you can do that by going to, for me, I've been doing it from the very beginning, but if you haven't done so, go to subscribers and then make a tag first. So you can add a tag, you can create a new tag in this page over here where it says tag. Scroll down and then click create a tag, and then just create a tag, and then come back to all of your confirmed subscribers. You can click the checkbox next to subscriber, and then you can click select all of your subscribers, and then go to bulk action and then click add tag, and then you can choose the tag you want to apply to all of your subscribers. And in your case, if you have just created a new tag, find this new tag and then check it, and that will add the tag to all of your subscribers. I'm not going to do that because I've already done it. And then to make sure that all of your future subscribers are also tagged with the same tag, you can create an automation. You can do that with a visual automation or rules, doesn't really matter. Visual automation is kind of easy to see, and I will just show you what I have. Basically, I have this automation where anybody who joins my email list from any form, they are added the site blogger main tag. Now you can do that quickly using new automation from the visual automation page, and then create an empty automation and then start building, and then where it says joins a form, click that, and then make sure that it's set to any form, so it doesn't matter which form, and then click add event, and then click the plus sign and then set it to action, and then click add or remove tag. Make sure it's set to add. So add should be, if you click twice it just goes to the other one, so make sure it's add, and then choose the tag that you want to be added to all of your future subscribers, and that's it. Make sure to save it and turn it on, but I'm not gonna do that because I don't need to. I'm actually gonna go ahead and delete the new one that I just created because I don't need it. Anyway, so just wanted to show you how it works on the Kit end of things. And then once you have done all of that, come back here and then click this area so it shows everything. For me, remember, all of my subscribers are tagged with the site blogger main, so I can just search for it. I can just start typing, and then under tags it says the site blogger main. I'll click that, and then I will save draft, and that's it. Actually, you know what, let me go ahead and publish it at a past date because I don't want people to see it yet. So let's say 2023. Let's go ahead and publish it, and then let me show you what it looks like on the front end. So as you can see, this post is really long, but in the front end all I can see is just a snippet of it, right? And that's all people can see. So if anybody wants to read your blog post, they are going to have to insert their email address right over here and then click subscribe so they can be added to they can be added to your email list, and then they will be able to read the rest of the post. So for example, I'm just going to go ahead and enter one of my email addresses and click subscribe. And it's working, and boom, as soon as I did that, the whole post shows up. I can see all of it now, and in the back end my email address has been added to Kit, and it's that simple. And this way you can actually start getting a lot of new subscribers who want to read your blog post, but you don't have to do all of the things, you know, making a lead magnet and then making a form, making, you know, an automation, and all of that stuff is so complicated. Well, not complicated, but it takes time, right? So using the Kit WordPress plugin, you can now do it really simply, really easily. There is, however, one hiccup. Let me show you what I mean. So because I have already subscribed, this browser will continue to show me the whole post. So let me open up an incognito window, and then let me show you what I mean. The problem is that the default snippet that ConvertKit is showing me before it's locking all of the content is very small, very short. The problem is that most people, most regular visitors to your site, will probably need to read a little more before they're convinced that they want to give you their email address, right? But currently, as of writing this, as of making this video, ConvertKit doesn't have a way to, to let the user choose exactly how much content to show by default. Like, you can't really decide exactly how much content you want to show before it locks the rest of the content, right? But the default portion that it shows is just so tiny that it's often not enough for people to be convinced that they want to read the rest of the post. So I have found a way around that, and that is through the excerpt. So this is the excerpt section in WordPress. All WordPress has excerpt. If you don't see it, go to screen options and then make sure that the excerpt is checked. That way the excerpt will show up. Now if you actually have some excerpt here, then that shows up. So what I want you to do is go ahead and copy as much of the content from the top portion as you want. For me, let's say this is how much I want people to see, and then copy that, and then come to the excerpt area and paste it, and then update it. Now the problem, oops, did I just, yeah, I think I close the browser. But anyway, let me go to let me open an incognito window and paste the link. Where is that? Okay, let's see. Kit. Remember, we already published it at a past date, and so now okay, I found it. Whew. That's what happens when you close a browser mid-video. Anyway, so I'm gonna copy that link and then go to the incognito window, paste it. Let's see what it looks like. As you can see, I'm seeing a lot more of the content before I'm seeing subscribe to keep reading, which means that it worked. So the roundabout way of using excerpt to show more content worked. However, as you can see, the styles are all over the place. So let me show you what the original style should look like. this is what it should look like. So there are some bullet points, there's actually a link here, and some bolded content, etc., etc. But in my incognito window, none of the styles are showing up. And that's happening because the excerpt doesn't have rich styling option. But you can actually fix that. You can go to your WordPress. Again, I'm using the classic editor, not the Gutenberg, and it's actually easier when you're using the classic editor, I think. So in the classic editor, it's really simple to just switch to the code view, and then what I want you to do is copy all of the coded content. So I'm going to copy all of the coded, not all, but just the portion that I want to show, and then copy that, and then paste that, because the coded ones actually have all the HTML and CSS in here. So that's what we want. And then scroll down to the excerpt section, delete what we had before, and then paste the new stuff, and then update. And then let's go to the incognito window and refresh this page, and boom, the styles are in now. So yeah, that's a roundabout way of fixing the small snippet options. If you don't have an excerpt, basically it automatically takes the first portion, just a few lines of the blog post, and that's what it says, or sorry, that's what it shows. But like I was saying, that little bit is often not enough to convince a random reader to subscribe to your newsletter. So you want to give them quite a bit before you lock the content behind that, subscribe box, basically. Now, if I just add one of my email addresses and subscribe, takes a couple of seconds, and yes, now all of this is here, as you can see. Pretty cool, right? And I think this is a great way to increase how many people subscribe to your newsletter. If you just do that in some of your most popular blog posts, you'll see that you'll probably start getting more and more subscribers just from your blog post using this plugin. So yeah, let me know what you think.